Ladies and gentlemen, take your seats and prepare yourselves for a quick review by SlideGamer.com. It's usually a bittersweet moment when finding out that a cherished game from your past is being brought back onto a modern platform. Sweet, of course, because that game was responsible for several hours of enjoyment many years ago, but bitter because you sometimes realize that your adored title isn't really as great as you remember it to be. However, Bitmap Brothers Z is one such game that manages to outsweet the bitter and still stands as a solid title. But is $4.99 asking a little too much for a title more than a decade old? If you've played the original before, then you'll quickly realize that very little has changed. In Z, your task is to gain control of areas in order to mass-produce buildings and units, eventually taking control of all the points and eliminating your enemy's base. There are various types of jeeps, tanks, and other vehicles, as well as 6 robot soldier types, which are controlled via single taps to select them and another tap to set the destination. It is also possible to select more than one unit by pinching, although most units already consist of pairs and trios. It may seem like your average RTS at first, but Z actually has no resource management whatsoever, instead allowing players to build up to their heart's content as long as they control the area. Despite being originally released a while back, Z still has some pretty neat gameplay elements that are not seen even in today's RTSs. For one, it's actually pretty awesome that your ground units are able to pick up other weapons and grenades as they come across on the field, as well as hopping onto an enemy vehicle in an attempt to hijack it. Differences, such as this one, as well as the lack of resource management and instead being able to produce endlessly, are what make Z still worth playing today. Fortunately, the humorous audio and voice work still make the experience all the more enjoyable, unlike other games from the 90s where the voices are unbearable to listen to. The visuals are also about as great as you can ask from an older game, still featuring great environments and smooth animations. As with most games ported to the present without any significant alterations, Z also has a few problems. For one, the AI is obviously not as smart as games of today. Pretty often you'll send units to a destination only to realize that they've been walking into an object the whole time. Your computer opponents also sometimes suffer from the occasionally wacky AI, sometimes making pretty stupid choices one minute and then executing something brilliant the next. In terms of touch controls, they work great, but do take some getting used to since it's very easy to accidentally tap, thus sending your units into a destination you didn't intend. Despite the age, Z is an excellent RTS title that no RTS fan should miss out on, though we won't blame you for waiting until a prize drop. Overall, Slide Gamer gives it a 7.5 out of 10.